Hello everyone and welcome to a new video on my YouTube, and today I'm going to be talking about the Wildcard tournament that happened last weekend, and specifically I'm going to be talking about my game against KG. I had a lot of fun playing this game. I'm so glad that I played in the tournament. It was genuinely such a great experience for me, and I wanted to do a video recapping, talking about my guesses, talking about the game in general, stuff where I got unlucky, and yeah, just generally just wanted to recap and analyze my game. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So first round of the moving game was Quebec, and it was on this round where I realized I can't move properly. I panned around a lot at the start because my round wasn't loading. My screen was so blurry, I couldn't really see anything. I realized it's Quebec, so I just plonked my marker down just in case I'm not able to do much more. And I just looked at this road marker and scanned for it the whole time. And this round was pretty much nothing. He didn't get much info, I didn't find my road number, so it didn't really amount to much of anything. I managed to get quite lucky as he clicked quite northeast in the state. I clicked in Trois-Rivières. So I ended up being closer. Not much happened that round, but I was still happy with the outcome regardless. It was, a good outcome for me. On to the second round. I think this round is really funny. As you can see, I sit back and I'm laughing because I had a black screen. I could not see the round. It was completely blurry. I didn't know what the country was until I actually read it on a sign, like the dot ends ahead for New Zealand. This sign here that I'm moving towards, but I really couldn't move. And I'd typed to the devs, like, oh, I'm black screening. I cannot play this round. I did not call a pause the way I was meant to, but it's still fine. And eventually what I just do is I no move, I look at the landscape, I'm like, okay, we have this huge lake, it's land across, there's, the mountains, there's a big city. I'm just gonna click Taupo and hope for the best. And, I'm like, oh, whatever, maybe it's Taupo, maybe it's not. And it ends up being Taupo, and I was really happy with that guess. My reaction was cut because my camera broke for a minute there, but it was still a very pleasant round for me, so we're already up. This third round, again, I'm having these same technical issues, which do get resolved, but it's just Vietnam. Vietnam was a country I was scared for going into this, as I'm not quite the best with my Vietnamese provinces. I did used to know them all. I've since forgotten them. Although the province we had in this round was Gia, which I do manage to move to a sign that says Gia, so I zoom into the map and I do know where that is. He does find Ayun Pa, which is this like town. It's actually there on my map when I zoom into the province borders. So this round ended up going fine for me, even though my moving was less than ideal. And after the next round, we do get a break for tech issues to be resolved. So moving on to round 4, at this point it's still looking in my favor. We got a Portugal round, and I see some palms and I see some southern looking architecture. It's not really hilly, so I just click it in the south. I take a break, I take a drink. Just want to clear up a couple of misconceptions about what I'm drinking from. Firstly, I was not drinking beer. It is a beer glass, but I'm not drinking beer during my games. It was just a drink, like a juice kind of. It was a really nice one. I don't know how to call it. And secondly, I did not steal the glass from the Hofbrauhaus in Munich. I did get it there though. Those are the only misconceptions about my drink. It could hold a lot of, liquid in it, so yeah, it was good for the game. And yeah, once again, I end up being closer, just in the Beja district. It was a pretty lucky one for me, and I'm very happy about it. Moving on to the final round before our tech issues were resolved, and we're in India. It says Lumding, Assam. I know where Assam is. And I just look, and I scan my heart out, and I do find it eventually. It's south of the river delta, a bit east in the state. It's not a district, but it is just a kind of major town. We both get it, we both send at the same time, and yeah. The game under review, for those who don't know, just means that tech issues is coming. There's never any cheating, really. Especially on the Geoguessr client, you can't really cheat on it, so this doesn't mean that anyone's cheating, and it just meant that we're getting our tech issues resolved, and from here on, it was a lot cleaner for me, but we'll just have to skip until it ends. I do manage to get another multi, and I was quite happy with that. And I'm just singing away to my songs. I did a lot of that during this game. I do notice that in these World League and Wildcard games, a lot of players are quite stoic. But I found that singing helped me control my nerves during this game. So, you know, you can maybe expect to see that more if I continue to play in other tournaments. But yeah, moving on, we have a career round. This round didn't really amount to much of anything, however we both end up moving to this sign here, which does have the road number 1132, and any 4-digit road number in Korea you will only find on the island of Jeju. So I find the road, this road loops around the island, neither of us managed to get very close, but I managed to get a little closer, and I do pick up the multiplier there, so yeah, that's pretty good. I was in a really nice position at this point. Moving on, we have a Germany round. I think this round is quite funny. Initially, my thought was to insta-send, as I think he knows Landkreis, which is their equivalent to like counties or like Kabupaten and Beledias, whatever. There are 400 or so of them. I do not know them. I think KG knows them all, so my initial thought was to just insta-send, but I didn't end up doing so, and then move. Maybe it would have been wise for me to insta-send this, but I didn't. There's a sense to Mayen. Now, Mayen is quite a big town. It's, if I pull up the map making app, it's, where is this? Okay, am I stupid? Well, it ends up being like around here, but it showed up on my map really quick from zooming. Oh yeah, it's over here. Mayen and Mendig were the two towns that were on the sign. And I've not heard of these before. And I look at the sign, I look at these places, I'm like, oh, I don't know any of them. Let me just think of what my region guess is. And I move a couple more steps. And then I zoom over into the west, and then I just see it on my map. So I lock it in, and it was a lucky find for me. I was pretty happy with that, and I got a bit unlucky here that KG moves his gas just close enough to the point where he managed to survive this round. We were really close to winning off that gas, as it was just nearby. Pinpointing wouldn't have done the difference, but it was, I think, a really nice round for me. Moving on, we have the South Africa round. Now, he initially sees the sign to Brayton, however I ended up just moving past it. I like to no move pan around at the start of rounds, however I didn't do it on this round, and had I done so I maybe could have won the game, but nothing really happens this round. I think he had a phone number on that sign. He didn't manage to find Brayton, which is the town, and I just clicked near Pretoria, and you know, it's okay. It's not the end of the world for me. We move on to Kenya, which is one of my strongest countries, I would say, for moving. I know a lot of information for it. I've actually been to Kenya before, and I moved to the sign. It says Kitale. It also says the A1 road. So I end up just sending on this A1 road in Kitale, like lining it up just in the city. Just hedging because I couldn't really find an angle that worked, and maybe he wouldn't find Katale. He does, and the result of this round is inconsequential really, other than I just end up getting another multiplier. But still, at this point, it was looking really quite good for me. Next we move on to Brazil. Now we both have this sign with the SC283 road number, so Brazil road numbers, essentially state by state. You have the state abbreviations on a lot of them. You have these national ones then. You have these like SC283. So SC standing for Santa Catarina, and we both know that, and I decided to just send in this area as the coverage is quite dense towards the east of the country, or it's a country, east of the state. There's a lot in the west, but I was just like, yeah, I'll click it in the west. Maybe I'll get lucky, maybe I'll get the win. Unfortunately, KG is better at region guessing Santa Catarina than I am. There's not really much to say there. He is just better at region guessing the state. He knows that it's west. I don't know how he got that it was west, but you know, it was an impressive one for him. Not much I could say, and in hindsight, maybe I could have scanned for the road, as I would say I'm probably better at scanning and pinpointing than KG is, but I just didn't really have an opportunity to display that in my games, and we ended up moving on to a really unfortunate round for me, which ended up being the United States. It is really unfortunate that he knows US phone codes and I don't, and I moved with the hope that I would find anything, and unfortunately I didn't stop to region guess at any point, and I should have done that because maybe the game could have continued and I would have got the win. And I do at the very end reach a New York highway marker, but I just don't know what that highway marker is, and I know now, you know, it's a mistake I'll never make again. But these mistakes happen, and I end up clicking Virginia, and because I thought the road lines were thick, which is common in like Virginia, West Virginia, and I'm like, wait, no, this isn't the Virginia one. I'll move to Maryland. It's also not the Maryland one, but what can you do? And I put my head in my hands because I knew that I'd lost, and it was a really unfortunate way to lose because I really think I played better that game. But that's just how the story goes, you know. That's just how the cookie crumbles, and it is what it is. Anyway, so we move on to the no move game. No move is KG's strongest game mode. It is my weakest, so the odds of me winning this game were super low. We have Panama round 1, and I do get really unlucky, I'd say, in this game for multiple reasons, which I'll get into. But this Panama round, we both click similar, kind of north of Santiago. It ends up being in the southeast here, and as he's closer, the multiplier goes to him. Now, Geoguessr, you gotta add the tie range, man. Everybody wants the tie range. If there was a tie range here, which I think there should have been, that multi would have, you know, gone to no one. But unfortunately, he gets the first multi on the no move. Moving on to round 2, we have a Mexico. Now, Mexico it's the country KG is most known for. He is one of the best Mexico players in the world. You know, I'd say like Angelo and stuff are better than him, but he is still a very strong player, and I think he knew the blur in this car, which I did not know. And I know that you get it just near CDMX, I believe, but it was not one that I was familiar with. I did manage to guess okay. I did see some white brick. I don't know if you see me zooming into it, which made me consider going near Puebla. But unfortunately, I did not. And he gets a really nice guess in Tlaxcala. So, you know, big respect for getting that guess. It's very impressive. His Mexico skills are great. This round I have regrets for, as it is just the northern Karelia road, or the main road that goes through the Republic of Karelia. This one here, the E105. and it's a very recognizable road with the soil and the rockiness next to the road. And I knew it was this road, but I was just gaslighting myself for no reason. I was just being like, oh, what if it's like the North Road in Yeka? What if it's this road, you know? What if it's like one of the Kanti-Mansik roads? And it's not. But I was just gaslighting myself, as I'm not very good at Russia, and the outcome for this was that I plonk it down really south in the road and just didn't think to line it up because I was just unsure if I was right. And the result of this was that I lose another multi, and again, with a tie range system, nobody would have got the multi here, but it does go to him, and so it's quite unfortunate. Next we move on to this Romania round. We have houses with, like, all the houses here, they are tiled, they look very Hungarian, and then I see this sign that says ARE, and I just think, I know a couple of big cities in Romania that end in ARE. I think of Baia Mare and Satu Mare, and I just click nearby because, you know, I was like, maybe I'm already losing this no move game. I'll probably lose this no move game. Let me just try it. So I chuck it in northwest, pretty much max northwest you can go in Romania, and he does end up clicking in the flat area near Bucharest, and so it does end up being a lot of points to me, as I was right with the Satu Mare thoughts, and it is unfortunate that I didn't have any of those two multis that I could have had, as that could have been a bigger swing, but even still, I was happy with it. I got good points on the board. Next we have a Karnataka round, these trident poles in India. It's pretty insignificant. He considered going Haryana on this, although I was always sure. It just looked very dry. I think you have the southern language there too. And yeah, it's just a basic Karnataka. And unfortunately, he again gets the multiplier. We make, you know, pretty similar guesses, but he does barely beat me out. And then we get this round. I am, I would say, notoriously bad at Australia. It is one of, if not my worst country in the game, and I really struggle with it. So we have like black car, we have really sandy soil, we have, you know, some trees that I guess look more southern, but it's really hard to tell with these trees in Australia. I'm not really good at Australia. And I was really confused on this round. At some point, I thought I saw sugarcane, and I was like, "What? Why is there sugarcane? There should be sugarcane here. What am I looking at?" And we also have this circle reflector. But in the end, I kind of put in my head that it would make sense to be next to the river delta you get between New South Wales and Victoria, and I end up getting a really nice guess here. I was really happy with this guess. I was glad that I managed to use my logic quite well, and unfortunately, had I won the multi on the Karnataka round, on the Panama round, on the Russia round, I would have won, and it was really quite unfortunate, and I got him down to 337 health, and then we move on to Costa Rica round, where again it was just pretty insignificant, but he does get the multi again, and then we move into this round. So this coverage is really quite unique. This is 2018 Gen 4. I do have like a location with the similar coverage. It's really quite unique. Like there's 25 here, and you can see the quality is a lot better. Whereas it kind of looks like ARI coverage, or like unofficial. And so it's a really interesting kind of camera, but it's not one that I was familiar with the distribution. And so in this round, I see the Swedish style M, and I see these poles that I associate more with Sweden and Finland. So I assume this field is just Sweden. It's really rocky, and it's also really hilly, and I associate hilly rounds in Sweden with being north in the country, but I had my click far too north. And I do think I kind of wish I had clicked it a bit more south, maybe like around like the Sweden kind of label, around like Storuman or something. And it was just very unfortunate the way this round ended up playing out, as I just commit to the north and I get really unlucky as he clicks in Norway and it ends up being like here in Sweden. And I just go, bro, get a load of this guy clicking Norway on that. Like, I can laugh it off, you know, but it is a bummer, you know. It's not it's not what I wanted, really. It was really quite an unfortunate outcome to lose the no move game with him being in the other country. And yeah, it was really unfortunate. But there's not much I can really say. You know, his guess was geographically closer, as Chumley Chum would say, so yeah, it's just a better guess, I guess, you know. And you know, KG he's a strong player, so I'm not upset to lose to him. But anyway, moving on. We have this round, and this is the only round where I really, like, I'm upset at how I played it, because I just look at the back of the car, I think the road looks tight, and I send it, and unfortunately he moves, and we see this, like, open field landscape, we see the fences and stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm wrong, and it's Philippines. So for context, for anyone who thought that was a terrible guess, let me cope a bit. This is the kind of car you get in North Thai, and you mostly get it in the provinces of Chiang Rai, Chiang Mai, and I don't read Thai script, so there would be nothing for me to benefit from in a Thai round like that, although really I should have just moved it out anyway. And in Philippines you get this similar exposed brake lights white car around this kind of peninsula near Dagupan City, and it was just really quite unlucky for me, and I knew that I was wrong. And it was just a real shame that was really kind of what the last nail in the coffin. I mean, I tried to come back, but none of the rounds from here on are really to my favor. We had a French round. We had this pinkish soil, which did influence me in my guess in the end, but I never got to information, and neither did he. I was close to signs right at the end, but I couldn't read them, and in the end I just ended up clicking Dijon, and it was just a bit southwest of there. Moving on, we had a Romania round where neither of us were able to find any info, so we both click in a mountainous region. I click near Brasov, he clicks a bit more northeast, which I kind of understand, and it ends up being northwest. And then we got a Czechia round, which I was also upset with how I played, just because I feel like I've never scanned worse in my life along a road. I found the road really quickly, and I just looked in the max west of the road, and I was just not happy with that. I could not find either of these places, Krivoklat and Rokisani. I think he played this better than me, and he did end up picking up the multi at the end of this round. I still managed to click really close to the right town, saving myself from losing the game, but unfortunately I couldn't save myself from the next round. The look on my face, I knew this was going to be the round that was done. You know, I put my thumb up at the camera because I knew this was going to be the round that killed me. And yeah, we have a suburbs of a US city. I look at the bin just in case it says a city, but it just said like waste management or something adjacent to that. I managed to move out. He finds this, I believe, 775 area code, which is in northwest Georgia. I managed to move out to this Georgia highway road marker, similar to the one I had in the New York round earlier. I do know this one though, because it's the outline of the state. And the landscape was more hilly, so I think I should have clicked Atlanta, or even like nearer to the north of the state. But unfortunately, I did just click too south, and that ended up being game. And yeah, put my thumbs up, I did a heart, and I waved bye because I knew that was it. Really unfortunate showing on that third game, but I still had such a great time playing in this tournament, no matter what, and I'm so glad that I did. And I have absolutely no shame losing 3-0 to KG. He's a fantastic player at this game. He managed to get to the semi-finals. I can open up on Geoguessr. Oh, whoops. I can open up like the page. So he got to the semi-final and he got beaten by KFL, who then went off to win the tournament. So congratulations to KFL. But I do hope we can see more from KG in the future, because I think he played so well, and he fully, he did so well, and I'm really proud of him. And he beat Hostoa as well, and I wish he could have gone on to win. I would have been really proud of him if he did. But yeah, he's a lovely guy, so full credit to KG. And yeah, it was an unfortunate the first two games to lose on round order, or just not getting multis in my favor on the no move, and then on the moving just not being able to clutch out those 200 points. It was a shame, but I'm not upset. You can see I was smiling the whole way through, and I was just so happy to have this opportunity to play the game that I love so much in front of such a big audience. And yeah, so before I end the video, I just want to say thank you so much for all the support that I got during this tournament. Anyone watching in the Twitch chat or any watch parties, the support I saw in these chats was just so overwhelmingly positive. It means so much. I had so many people reaching out afterwards, congratulating me, saying I played so well, and it just meant so much. And honestly, I got a bit emotional over some of the messages I received, like people saying they were like looking up to me, saying I was like an inspiration, as I, there's not many women in the Geoguessr scene, and people saying that I'm an inspiration to them, it just meant so much to me, and like it means the world. And I'm gonna stick in with Geoguessr, and I'm hopefully gonna be in maybe the next World League season, maybe another wildcard in the future. But I'm so excited for what the future holds for Geoguessr. And yeah, genuinely, any support I got, it means the absolute world. Like, you guys don't even know, it meant so much to me. And I want to give some special shout outs. So shout out to Jamabi, shout out to Debre, shout out to Kamira, shout out to 19 Alligators, to Nova, to Dan the Div. There's just so many people, man. Your support means so much to me. I couldn't be here without all my close friends, Gator Nation, Gay Cord, whatever. Like, you guys genuinely mean the world to me. Also want to shout out some of my IRL friends who watch the games, so like May, Jack, the other Jack. Yeah, there's two of you. Like it means so much. All of my friends have been so kind and supportive, and it means the world. And I'm glad that people had such a good time watching me, and I hope I can be on the main stage for Geoguessr again, because this was such an amazing experience for me. And yeah, at the end of the day, who got the ways of the match? It was me on the Philippines round, where I insta-sent Thailand. So who really won? If you think about it, it was me. I got the ways of the match. It was on my worst round by far in the whole thing. And yeah, but anyway, I think that will be it for the video. I have nothing else to say. Do check out my socials. I've left them in the comments. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos. I do plan on making more videos if people would be interested in that. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.